Hi guys, welcome. I wasn't satisfied with the episode I put out yesterday, so we're doing a second take. It is now April 7th, Monday. Sun's still shining, still excited about that. So what I talked about yesterday was relationships and how they can affect how fulfilled we feel in our lives. Um, Have you ever been in a room full of people and just felt completely alone? Or in a relationship with a significant other and the same thing? I have done that so many times. I've lived that life. And through this recovery process and being out on my own for the first time without a husband or a boyfriend, just my son and I've really learned a lot from being alone and how much I love it. Not the being alone part, but just how much I love me time and kind of the silence a little bit. And that is because I make sure, or I do my best to use that time to reflect or to see how I would want to do things differently, or most importantly, find gratitude for things in my life. I have learned that it is not the people around us that bring us happiness or make us feel content or not alone, right? Like, you have to find that within yourself. And it's hard. It's a whole process, especially if you are living your life in a way that you aren't satisfied with, or if you're not being the person that you want to be or that you can be. And in those silent moments, it gets really loud if you aren't aligned with how you want your life to be. I have also noticed that the higher you vibrate and the happier you are and the happier you are with yourself, that attracts people to you, which can be a really good thing, but also it can be a not so great thing, especially if people are living in the dark because they're attracted to your light. They want to be around you. And that is really great, and you can set a good example, but also you do not have to allow them into your life or your space or, share things with them. Always be respectful. There is a big difference between being respectful to somebody or just being polite and keeping them around because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, that hurts you more than anything. Some people can be energy vampires, and if you are living a certain way and you are doing good things and wanting positive thoughts, staying in that area or with those people too long can just drag you right back down. And so I work in the customer service industry. I've been a server for years now, and it is amazing how many people are just unaware of anyone around them, anything else. They are just so consumed with themselves and their needs and their wants. And it's actually been a really good thing for me because I got to a point where I started to realize, like, it is not about me. Like, if somebody comes in and they're rude or whatever it is, I learned that it has nothing to do with me. It is all about them. And I can be polite, I can do my job, but I don't have to give into it or, be snappy back, and because it just adds to the situation and it does not make anything better. I think that's another reason why I enjoy my alone time so much, is because some days working with and around people like that, it just drains you, and so you have to go home and reset and everything else. Part of this lesson also that I've learned is living and thinking and talking and feeling a certain way attracts people who are aligned with how I'm doing life. And it's been amazing. this morning, even, for example, I went for a run with my friend that I work with, who I've mentioned before. She will be on my podcast, hopefully within the next couple weeks. She's such a wonderful person inside and out. We clicked immediately. She's hilarious. She's gone through her own struggles with addiction and now works at a recovery center, which is awesome. But she reached out to me and was like, hey, I really enjoy your morning pictures that you post before you run. It's inspired me to start running and working out. And so she's been doing that for a while. And this morning at 5:30, we went for a run. And I've never ran with anyone else. And so it was new for both of us. But it was so great. We just fed off each other's energy. We went further than she thought she would, with ease, actually. And we just got to share each other's accomplishment for the morning. And even though I don't have a lot of friends in my life, I have a lot of acquaintances because I'm really picky about who I spend my time with. I have really high quality people in my life. And so I seriously feel fulfilled, and I in turn try to make my friends or people that I surround myself with feel the same way. This past week I've had 5 to 7, I can't even remember, people open up to me and tell me that they have been experiencing loneliness. And some of them are in relationships. One of them is I'm readjusting. One of them is newly single. They're going through a hard time. And, you know, some of them were crying when they told me this, and I felt really bad, but it just made me reflect a lot of, like, I haven't been in a relationship in years, and I spend a lot of time alone. So why is it that I don't feel loneliness very often? In fact, like, really ever. And I really had to dive into that. Like, was it because I can be really good at disassociating and just not feeling anything? And I was like, no, I don't think that's the reason. I think, and I know that it is because I have done a lot of work on myself and have become really content and happy with who I am becoming. I'm not done. I'm not anywhere near done. I have so many places I want to go, but I do know I'm working towards that actively as often as I can throughout the day, every day. And some days I don't accomplish that, you know, and it's a little frustrating, but if I just give myself a little grace and time and think, okay, that did not go how you thought it would or how you planned, let's try again tomorrow. And I'm so grateful that I continue to get tomorrows, because there was several years there where I shouldn't have made it. And so I try not to take anything for granted. I don't know if any of you guys know anybody in recovery, but they are some of the happiest people that I have ever met. And I think part of that is because they've been through hell. And so finding the little things in life, like sunrises or a good conversation, whatever it is, a good cup of coffee, like, you just learn to appreciate everything, and it's so much better. And you don't have to go through things like that to appreciate life. Just take a second, because life is not promised to anybody. We never know when it's going to end. To just stop and find gratitude for whatever it is. Because life's hard enough, right? And we just don't need to make it harder on ourselves. And we don't have to spend time with people that don't make us feel good, or like make us happy, or take up too much of our time. And I know a lot of us struggle with breaking off those relationships, because maybe we've been dating somebody for a long time, or maybe we've been friends for years, and you just feel this obligation to keep them around. But why? Like, says who? If that person is toxic or not adding value to your life, you don't have to keep them in your life. Now, if you're in a marriage, obviously don't just like walk away. Put some work into it and see what you guys can figure out. And after all of that is said and done, if it's still not where it should be or where you feel like it should be or whatever, it is okay to walk away. I have spent too much time talking to people that I didn't feel were good for me or that I didn't want to out of politeness. And I just don't, I shouldn't have to, you know? Like, again, I always be respectful. I will always be respectful for you, to you. But if I set a specific boundary and that person continues to cross it, then bye, you know? Like, I don't mean for that to sound rude, but I just think too many of us are stuck in relationships that we don't want to be in, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a friend, whatever it is, because we feel like we have to. And since I started cutting people out of my life, I have made room for new people who I want around, who I try to enhance their life. It's a give and take. It's not all just, well, if you make me happy, you can stay. So please don't misunderstand that. It is, can I add quality to this person's life? And in turn, will they add quality to mine? And it's, you know, and if they don't, and I block you or I stop talking to you or whatever, that's okay. It's a little hard and it makes you feel a little bad, but you cannot add value to people's lives if you are constantly just making sure everyone else around you is feeling comfortable. So anyway, that's my message for today. I, again, am so grateful that you guys continue to follow me on my journey, that you add all the feedback and all the support and love. And I just, this year, this last few months even, have been amazing. And I have felt so heard and seen and understood. And it really has inspired me to continue doing this. And I hope that you're getting something out of it too. So takeaways, find gratitude for little things. The little things are what matter. You don't have to keep people in your life that you feel don't belong. And if you are feeling lonely or sad, maybe try to sit and think about why that is and learn how to be comfortable just with you. Have a great week. I probably will do an episode on Wednesday just so I can get back on track with the Wednesday thing. But until then, I'll see ya.